We're gonna
No, we're
have
not.
some fun.
No, if the
What do
Knicks
you
are losing,
mean?
I'm gonna be miserable.
Be fine.
I'm gonna be miserable. Really? You know what? I'm saying Knicks are winning tomorrow.
Oh.
Fuck it. Here we go. Knicks are winning tomorrow. See that guy? No, that's the wrong guy. See that guy? See him? He's over his assist prop. Jalen Brunson. He's going over his assist prop.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I already heard yesterday that he's got no shot to win the Cy Young because it's going to Skubal again. Skubal's winning the Cy Young. No shot for free.
They're both terrific. They both have incredible numbers and credentials and stats and strikeouts and ERA and everything. Like every single category, Fried is right there with him.
Pharrell coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces in the NBA aren't American.
SportsRage tonight. Only on Sport.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency, the picks, the players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. Countdown to the NBA Finals is officially on, but the Stanley Cup Championship has begun. We played 2 periods of play in Edmonton, Alberta this evening, and the Florida Panthers have a 3-2 lead. Edmonton struck early, and we actually cashed the ticket with the first goal scorer of the game tonight with Leon Draisaitl at plus 750. That's the good news. The bad news is we also gave you the Edmonton Oilers to win the first period. They did not, as the Panthers score in bunches. This is what they do. The Panthers took a 2-1 lead, then a 3-1 lead. Edmonton struck really quickly. Instead of letting it linger down 3-1, they made it 3-2. So we're going into the third period of play, and we got ourselves a game right now. Let's get you the updated numbers, except, you know, we got baseball games here going on too. And, you know, baseball is going to take second stage here tonight. It's on the B stage. It's on, it's in the tent, like at a rock festival. We got another stage with the smaller bands over here. But we've been making money with it. And the Dodgers and the Mets series have been epic. It's been a really fun series at Chavez Ravine. Seattle and Baltimore have already started. You know, these games, they're just going under the number. We cashed last night with an in-game under. You know, let's go. Well, you can get 6.5 right now to the under, 7.5 at minus 170. You can pick either one. We're going to go under the number here. We've been betting the overs 2 nights in a row, and I'm not a big over better, but we bet the over 2 nights in a row in Sacramento with the Minnesota Twins, and we took the Twins 2 nights in a row. Once we took the Twins, then the other night last night we took the Twins on the run line. Night before, I just needed the Twins. Last night, we needed run line, and they exploded late. The Athletic bullpen blew up once again. I don't really see a reason. You know, it's tough to sweep a team. Unless you're a great team like the Colorado Rockies, and you're able to sweep the Marlins, right? So I'm never really in a hurry to, just take the same bet every day. But the fact is, when a team is 1-19 in their last 20 games or whatever the hell it is now with the Athletics, it's hard to not want to do it. All right, it's minus 180 on the money line, but it's minus 115 on the run line right now for the Minnesota Twins. So we'll take the Twins on the money line. Dodgers Dodgers and Mets. Like I said, it's been a really fun series. I can tell you that Mookie Betts. Last night we gave you the Morency the gut feel pick, and I'm pretty good. Like I don't do a ton of home run props and stuff, but I do know the Dodgers pretty well, and I've got a vibe for the Dodgers for the most part. Tonight's vibe, it's a Mookie vibe tonight. It's a Mookie vibe. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Shohei Ohtani hit a home run tonight. But the problem is you never get a good number with Shohei Ohtani. All right, so let's get into this right now. Home run props tonight. Lindor, man, this guy's a beast. But Lindor is plus 270. Lindor's plus 270 to home run tonight. We hit with Max Muncy last night at plus 375. Tonight it's only plus 290, which is pretty ridiculous, actually. Juan Soto was plus 275. Shohei Ohtani plus 150. What the? Shohei Ohtani plus 150. And we're looking at the lineup right now. All right, so there's no Mookie Betts tonight. He returned last night. He was the one guy that I liked tonight. But he's a late scratch tonight. Looking at total base props here right now. And I guess we'll go with home runs. All right, home runs, over under. Freddie Freeman plus 350. That's not a bad number, actually. Let's jump in on Freddie. Freddie's smoking hot, too. Big hit last night to win a baseball game. And all right, here's Mookie, actually. All right, my bad. Let me get you the Dodgers lineup here. We got a lot going on. And I got to be honest with you, there's always something. But we had a little bit of a technical issue, which I don't really have a lot of, to be honest with you, considering how many shows that we do. But we did moments before the show started. And I didn't panic, but we had a brief little okay, we better figure something out pretty quickly here, which we have. But you'll also notice normally I'm not looking at the phone all the time, right? So I'm down computers. Let's just cut to the chase. I'm down computers tonight. So everything I'm running, it's a phone night tonight, like as far as our betting. And I can't see the chat right now. So shout out to everybody joining us right now on X, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. I can't get in because I'm on a different computer that's not mine. So I can't get into certain accounts that I normally do. And I figured, you know what? I really don't care. I really don't care. Like a modern talk show host, you're kind of screwed in a way. Like I got the phone here, but I got to be honest with you. I've been around long enough that I was doing shows without a computer in the booth, right? Like I used to print things up and I'd write things down, and old school radio hosts, we'd have a bunch of newspapers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have a New York Post, right? USA Today, right? You would have a stack looking at the point spreads, and then, the internet was kind of new, when we started doing the show, because I remember there was one computer in the radio station. It was a big deal. It was the radio station has a computer, and you can print things. So we started printing things a little bit like that, but a lot of people are just kind of screwed. If you took a lot of these millennial sort of hosts and stuff like that, and you told them, all right, you're on for 2 hours, no computer, you got nothing, everything's off the top of your head here, just what you know, you're going to have a problem. But that's the one good thing. There's a saying, Ozzy Osbourne said it. When Ozzy Osbourne was auditioning guitarist, he said there was a really big name, and the dude showed up, and he said the guy took 2 hours to set up, before they actually did the audition, because he had so much equipment. And Ozzy couldn't even, he got impatient, and he told the guy, listen, if you can't do my songs in a pair of jeans and a borrowed guitar, we're not going to work out. Next, right? So that's rock and roll. Sometimes you just, you got to go with it, right? But fortunately, we still have access to the outside world right now to get our bets in. So as we stated, we're going to take the Dodgers tonight against the Mets to wrap up this series. It's the rubber match. They've split so far. It's been entertaining, actually. It's been a fun, very fun series. So we're going to go with the Dodgers. We're going to go with the Twins. These A's games, they've been going over, even though you got to sweat it out a little bit. They always seem to go over the number. I'll tell you what, this Dodgers-Mets series, Game 1 stayed under barely. They went to extra innings. Last night it went over the number. I'm not in a hurry to be betting the under. I'll tell you that. We do like the under in the Baltimore and Seattle game that we talked about, under 6.5 in game. Stanley Cup. All right, the third period hasn't started yet. It's 3-2 right now. This should be a pretty epic third period of play. In-game total is 7.5 right now. Over 7.5 is plus 130. It should be noted the Edmonton Oilers are starting the period on the power play. Should have about 55 seconds, I think, give or take, 54 seconds, a minute or whatever. And it's always dangerous when you start a period on the power play because the ice is super fast. So the Oilers, this is a big, first minute of the period for the Oilers to potentially strike. If they don't strike, if they tie the game and it turns into a 3-3 game, maybe it doesn't get to 8, right? If they don't tie the game, this thing gets to 8 because it'll open up. The Oilers are going to start to press. There'll be empty net goals. It is a difficult decision right now, but if you go over to 7.5, you're getting plus 130. We talk a lot about totals, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you now. The Edmonton Oilers are not done. Oilers win, plus 195.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, let's roll. We're going to be dropping the puck once again in a couple of moments here. The Stanley Cup Finals have begun, and they started off with a bang, like basically a minute into the game. We hit our first bet of the series, and I was thinking this is going to be great. Leon Draisaitl, plus 750, first goal scorer of the game. We took the Edmonton Oilers in the first period. We took the Edmonton Oilers in the game, and I got the Edmonton Oilers in the series. So when they were leading 1-0 a minute into the Stanley Cup Finals and the crowd was buzzing, I was like, all right, this is fun so far. But I also warned everybody online. I said, the Oilers need to score the next goal as well. Like, you need to get up like 3-4 nothing on the Panthers. They don't get rattled down a goal, and they also strike in bunches, something that I've said a million times over the last couple of, like, the last month and a half or 2 months or whatever. The Panthers won't score for 10, 15 minutes. They'll be getting outshot 18-4. We saw it against Carolina. We saw it against Toronto. And then, boom, they'll score like 2-3 goals in a 5-minute span. And then, like, they start playing at another level. They're playing at a high level right now. Big key to this hockey game was Knobloch, his mistake early in the hockey game challenging the goal. It wasn't interference. You know, I understand that you want to roll the dice because the NHL is kind of soft now with interference and goalie interference calls. But you're not, number one, they're not going to be soft in the Stanley Cup Finals with it. And number two, it wasn't like, oh, we got to challenge this. It was sort of like, wow, we could challenge it. The thing is, in the NHL now, if you challenge it and you get it wrong, the other team gets a power play. So almost like a gambler chasing. Instead of just accepting that it was 1-1, they didn't want to accept that. No, the goal doesn't count. And instead it was 2-1 because they scored a minute after on the freaking power play, right? That was a mental error by the Edmonton Oilers. And Corey Perry's got to stop hitting people and tripping people and taking penalties. He's taken 2 penalties already in this game. He could be like a positive for your team, but that's not good, Corey. Like, that's not the good Corey Perry. Like, bro, you spent 4 minutes in the penalty box in the first 20 minutes of the game. Or you're putting us in a bad spot, and they scored on us as well. Like, so Corey Perry's got to rein this thing in, but I think the Oilers are live right now at plus 195. We got Brady Cannon in the house, Cam Stewart ready to rock. Cam, Oilers down 3-2 right now. What do you think about the third period here? The total is 7.5, but it's plus money to the over.
I really like what you said about the empty netters, too. And I think Edmonton, they've had chances. You got to get traffic in front of Bobrovsky on their second goal. That's what you have to do. He didn't see the puck. I think Edmonton is live. Gabe, I wouldn't be shocked if this game went to overtime, maybe. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if it went to overtime 4-4. I think we're going to see some goals in the third period. And on my book, Edmonton's plus 215 right now live, and I will take them as they have 40 seconds left on the power play.
It's been a problem for them, their power play tonight, the Edmonton Oilers. They had a 4-on-3 for a minute and like 54 seconds, and they did nothing with it because they never practice 4-on-3s. It's very unorthodox, and you figure, 4-on-3, they're going to score automatically. No, they had a hard time getting a shot off. And let's give credit to the Florida Panthers on their penalty kill. They've done an awesome job, like just getting in front of the Oilers' angles and lanes. Here's another 45-second power play that pretty much the Oilers just got nothing on. I would say tactfully, the Panthers are like, they're really prepared for what the Oilers do. Like, you could tell just from a coaching perspective, it's like they know what we want to do, and like, we're not surprising them at all. But it's a war of attrition, and it's just begun right now. Third period has just begun. Brady Cannon. Canada takes center stage, at least for like a day or two here, Brady. We got the Stanley Cup Finals in Edmonton. The Canadian Open starts in the morning, unless there's like some big tornado or something like that happens there, because the weather was pretty bad there today. Yeah. And then we've got SGA, who's from Hamilton, outside of Toronto, in the NBA Finals tomorrow. Grand Prix, Formula One in Montreal next week. So there's a little bit of a buzz going on. How do you feel, Brady, about the Stanley Cup Finals and NBA Finals? I know you had some future tickets. What are you doing now that they're here?
Yeah, the Canadian superfecta, on the racetrack, on the golf course, the hardwood, the ice. Love it, man. And I'm really fired up for this golf tournament. I saw one of my colleagues in this space write earlier this week that this is maybe the most underrated golf tournament on the tour. And I don't disagree. I think it's a really good tournament. Great courses they play year in and year out. Good, it's not a birdie fest typically. Good golf tournaments. So, yeah, I'm excited for that portion of the superfecta. I do have the futures. I have a parlay on both teams to win their respective championship. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA championship and the Edmonton Oilers to win the Stanley Cup. And I did this a little while back, not that long ago, but when the prices weren't crazy, and I got better than 3-1 on that parlay. I do believe Oklahoma's already in the barn. I just need the Oilers. I'm with you 100%. And I'm with you guys as well. Cam, you said you think overtime at 4-4. That would be my bet right now. I think overtime at 4-4 is very possibly where we're headed tonight.
I'm going to, you know what? I didn't pull the trigger on the 7.5. My gut, I'm not opposed to overtime. I can see it happening. But if it does, I think it'll happen with a late Oiler goal. Like, you know what I mean? They'll be down 3-2, and then boom, like they avert disaster and send it to overtime, and then probably lose and send their fans home unhappy. Oh no! As we speak, the Panthers nearly just scored, but they didn't. So we got a game here. We'll keep our eye on this. So yeah, I saw today the weather, and in fact, I was watching the coverage of the network that does the Canadian Open, and they had to shut down their live coverage. Like they were told, listen, due to weather, like tents were starting to blow around. It was like dark. It was dark as hell. And I was like, wow, it's pretty dark there, like pretty early. And I'm like, what time is it on the East Coast? And then they actually said, listen, we got to leave. Like literally and figuratively, we got to end our show and we got to shut down the coverage here because they're advising everybody they have to get off the course. So we'll take a look at the weather for everybody on the other side. But as Brady stated, one thing with this course, and there's people that complain in Canada about this, but there's a reason why they do it. The Canadian Open might as well be the Ontario Open. It's always in freaking Ontario all the time, but it's the week before the U.S. Open. And Canada is so big, so no one's going to show up if you're playing in Nova Scotia, right? Oh, yeah, we're playing in Newfoundland this week, guys.
Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, this game is rolling along right now. Quickest 120 minutes of sports talk and television. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. 14 minutes left in the game. Oilers still trailing by a goal right now. They were out shooting Florida like 15-6 early. And in fact, it was 15-6 after the first period of play, and they were trailing 2-1. It's really like Florida have really come on. And Edmonton failed. I thought that Edmonton would be the quicker team early, and I said a couple of times that I thought Florida would take a little while to get going, but it didn't take them long to get going. It took them like 10 minutes, right? And the Oilers were flying around early, and Florida were a little slow early, and they didn't take advantage of it. Like, they had a couple of chances. There it is. Boom. Ekholm. There it is. 3-3.
Hey,
we got a 3-3 hockey game.
Yay! Plus 215. Yay! Let's go,
Oilers. Let's go.
Give us.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I got to say, though, I'm very disappointed. And if I was rich like McAfee or Jim Irsay and stuff like that, I'd pay for the Stanley Cup lady that paints herself silver and walks around like the Stanley Cup every game, regular season. No, Brady, there's like a native lady in Edmonton.
So cool.
She's
I've seen
freaking
her.
hardcore, bro. Yeah, like she goes to as many games as she can. And I saw someone, I said today, I said, where's the lady? How come she's not in the arena? She should be there. Somebody said, she was buzzing around all the radio stations today trying to win a ticket.
She was partying with the kids, Gabe. She's out with like the 15-year-olds.
It's $1,200 to get in tonight. Like, she can't, how much money does this lady have,
She's
right?
a grandma.
Yeah, but there she is. I saw her. She's in the front row with her Believe sign. She's got the Believe sign. Yeah.
Brady, you got to see this lady. She's all silver, like a granny native grandmother. Like, she is the best. And she's
like someone in Edmonton told me, they're like, dude, I've sat next to her before. They're like, it's like real paint or something. They were like, dude, I think I don't know how she gets it off. It seems toxic. Like she's silver. Like she does it for real, man. Like she's like painted silver, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, Bonnie, she's painted
silver, and she's got like the top of the cup on top of her head. Like, Brady, you've seen her, right? Like, yeah, like it's just
awesome.
She looks like the Statue of Liberty / cup. You look at her like, but you notice because she's painted silver like the cup, right? And she's always, we want the cup. We want the cup. But she's been there for years. Oh, yeah. Like
she fit right in here.
Thing is, in Canada, they just think, another nut job. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of being, if in America, you'd be treated like a super fan. Canada, you're like, that crazy lady, that dresses like the cup. Don't let her in. Yeah, man.
They showed her up close, and that paint does look toxic. It's pretty thick. It's not like a thin layer that you put on like makeup. It looks like real damn paint. Like trim clad. Like
that's why I've been in a business. If I was the local news, I'd send someone down and say, I want to see how she does this and stuff. So just show her spray painting herself.
That's a great idea.
Before
like,
she goes out.
Show her preparation, how she layers it on, man, because it's thick. You're right. Wow.
So the Canadian Open, big golf course. One thing, I don't need to tell Brady anything about golf, but one thing, Brady, Rory McIlroy is almost like an honorary Canadian. Very popular in Canada. Although I don't know about after today. And the Leafs can't go a day without getting talked about. So Rory was asked about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And he said, if I can win the Masters, they can win the Cup.
There you go. That's all right. I like that.
Settle down, Rory. You've been to a Raptor game. Like, you relax, bro.
Rory, you know what? It's because his girl, one of his, I think he's with a new girl now, but his ex-girl or something was actually from like Buffalo or something. So like Rory jumped on the Bills bandwagon. He became buddies with Josh. He's won the Canadian Open and then showed up all liquored up the next night at a Raptor game. Brady decked out in a Raptor gear. So people love him in Toronto, right? But he's an Irish drinker. He's going to fit right in Canada.
He skipped Jack's tournament for the Canadian Open.
Yeah, no, like he takes it serious. Like I'm playing for the Canadians, and he likes to win it as well. He's plus 450. And Brady, this course is tailor-made for him, as Cam stated. Where this is like Canadian Kansas farmland. Nothing but space for Rory to just grip it and rip it, Brady.
Correct.
That's exactly right. I know a lot of people that are doing nothing on the outright card except for the big bombers, the Keith Mitchells, the Kurt Kitayamas, the Rorys, and I didn't go quite that direction. All of my guys can move it, but I did not just direct my attention to bombers only. I tried to be strategic about it, like I always do. And I do have a Canadian on the card. They don't win it too often. I know you guys, but I've got Mackenzie Hughes. Yes, sir.
Obano's guy.
Mackenzie Hughes is from like the same part of town that SGA is from. Maybe there's something special there.
Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this. This is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick Oklahoma in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bust them, everybody else in between. Yeah, this is just unfair that they're making the Abbotsford Canucks and Texas Stars play AHL game right now. Like against the
good game.
This is like what it's like when the WNBA plays against the NBA finals and stuff, which they will, Brady, right? It's like, really, you're really doing these girls a big favor. And then people, oh, look at the ratings and all Caitlin Clark. It's like they're going head to head with the NBA, all right? They're going head to head with the NBA finals. But, you know, they call it counter programming, and then these leagues get screwed over. But the way they did it with the NBA and the NHL actually works out pretty well for the most part. All right, so we told you guys I thought the Oilers were really live at plus 195. We got a 3-3 game right now. 7.5 is still the total, but it's minus 190 to the under. To go to overtime, I want to see the go to overtime odds here. To go to overtime is minus 125.
Had to be plus money before they tied it up.
Big time.
Maybe
big
two plus 250 or something.
Yeah. It would have been like plus 175 or something before. Okay. It usually starts at about plus 275 before the game with like these competitive lines. Right, they were down. Put it this way: they were plus 195 to win the game, Brady.
Right.
It wouldn't be as high to tie the game to get to overtime. Like, you know what I mean? They haven't won yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one goal, split 2 goals. So like 1 plus 150 type of deal. But for me, it's not good enough at minus 125 with 9 minutes
I don't like
left.
it now.
I get the feeling the Oilers score a dramatic late goal still. I can see the Oilers scoring a late dramatic goal and winning this game.
One of the two is I think it's going to be 4-3 at this point. I don't know if we're going to OT now because we're running out of time for both teams to score again and take it to 4-4 like we were talking about.
If somebody scores, oh God, here's Edmonton. Oh God. I don't know how that didn't go in. All right, let's get back to the golf picks. Edmonton nearly just scored. I thought right on cue it was going in, and the puck just bounced right through the crease. Like a soccer ball. It just bounced in a weird way, but not in the net. So we got a 3-3 game, 9 minutes left in the hockey game. All right, so as I was saying, Rory's very popular in Canada. He likes winning this thing, and as you brought it up, he didn't even play in the Jack, and this is a perfect tune-up for him for the U.S. Open, but it's one of these deals, guys. There's no Scheffler this week, so it's Rory who takes that big favorite role at plus 450, and then there's a big drop-off. with everybody else. So if we can get Brady's picks back up once again, let's see who Brady Cannon is going with.
Yeah, I didn't take any short shots this week. I mean, I started with Mackenzie Hughes, who's anywhere from about 40 to 50 plus. I think I even saw close to 60 to 1. I think he's the one Canadian that is under the radar. He's not named Corey Connors. He's not named Taylor Pendrith, and he's done very, very well at this event in the past. He's got a wonderful short game. I like Hughes this week. Cam and I are both on Alex Noren, Cam, I've always loved Alex Noren. I think he's a poor man's Tommy Fleetwood. You know, he's won all over the world, just hasn't won on the PGA Tour yet, and he is awful close. He returns after 7 months nursing a very bad hamstring injury, and he comes in at the Truist Championship, then the PGA Championship, and then the Memorial. Can you come back to 3 tougher golf courses on the tour schedule at any one point? No. I mean, those are brutal golf courses. He made the cut in every one of them, finished 17th in the PGA. Now he gets a little bit of a breather with a course that ought to be a little bit easier. And I think, and Noren, he's done very well on, I think, courses that kind of line up similarly to TPC Toronto. I love Noren this week. Matty Schmid, you and I are both on him. Yeah. He's a popular pick. He's one guy that's pretty popular in the golf tipster space. I got him at 80 to 1. Really good long iron player, and that's what you're going to need at this beast of a track. Davis Riley, recently runner-up at the PGA, won at Colonial, which is another long par 70. I like Riley at 80 or better. And then Justin Rose, who's done tremendous here a couple times recently, a 4th and an 8th. And next week he's going to the U.S. Open, where that's the only major he has in his pocket. And I think the vibe is good right now for Justin Rose. He's won at Colonial. He's won at the Memorial. He loves Canada. Next week's the U.S. Open. He's got to be in a positive frame of mind here. And all this guy's done this year is finish 3rd at Pebble, 8th at Bay Hill, and 2nd at the Masters. I think he's going to have a good week. And then finally, my long bomb, the rookie out of the University of Florida, Ricky Castillo at 120 to 1, 4th in this field the last 24 rounds for strokes gained tee to green. He's really ripping it.
Who was that kid that shot like 63 a couple of days in a row the other day? Qualified for the U.S. Open, I think.
Oh, gosh.
Well, yeah. You see Max Homa carrying his own bag?
Yeah.
That was the best.
I think he might
was he him this week too.
He might have been a Tar Heel. I'm not sure. I saw an interview with him saying, I want to thank all my teammates. It's like, yeah, he went back to back like 63s. He ended up qualifying. So 2 questions, Brady. The liability BetMGM. I got to believe that like the sharps and the squares are on Rory here almost. But then who are some of the other hipster players, the liabilities with BetMGM?
Well, you've got the highest ticket count, the highest ticket percentage. Number 1, Rory McIlroy. Number 2, Ludwig Åberg. Number 3, Corey Connors. No real surprise there. Biggest liabilities, Ludwig Åberg, number 1, Rory, number 2, number 3, Nick Taylor. So kind of interesting there. But, I like I said, Corey Connors is going to be popular. I know Taylor Pendrith is popular. Rory's going to be popular. Whether
no
it's
love for
Shane
Lowry, guys, from you guys?
A lot of guys like Shane Lowry, too.
I was on him last week, and he really disappointed the heck out of me. He wilted once
Brady?
again on Sunday, like he did at the Masters.
Let's talk about this guy, Gabe.
He folds like a cheap suit on Sunday.
But Lowry does this new thing where he's like not in contention anymore. He'll shoot like a 79 on Sunday and take you out of your top 10s and 20s. He's done it like 3 tournaments in a row. I'm with you, Brady. This guy's really starting to piss me off because he just kind of goes, I'm not going to win. Yeah, and then he gets like sour and then he goes bogey, bogey, bogey. It's like, dude, there's still money here. Like, what are we doing? Like, Gabe, it's really weird. Lowry, when he collapses hard. And it's happening a lot.
I had Spieth and Lowry last week, and they were both sitting right there with an outside shot to catch Scotty. And Spieth made a run, and Lowry went running the other direction. It was
great call by you, Gabe. This kid's name is Mason Howell. He's a freaking high school junior committing to Georgia. 63-63 to qualify.
Wow.
Mason Howell. He's not even in freaking college yet. He's going to Georgia.
You heard it
Wow.
first. I turned you on to this kid. 5 years from now, you'll be betting
Yeah,
on him,
yeah.
Brady.
At Mason Howe teachers. I'm going to Ladbrokes in England. We'll win a major in 5 years. Yeah, I'll be like
Georgia.
dad.
He's going to Georgia.
Yeah, my son will win a major. Mason Howe. Put down. They'll take it. You're right, Gabe. They'll take down any bet. I'll walk in with my sheet. Yeah, but it's
63 and 63.
That's
but
amazing.
I was going to say, we only got a minute left or so. The U.S. Open, any advanced bets, Brady, for you? Like, have you got? I'm sure you do. Like, got a head start on this. Who would you take?
I took, like the quintessential U.S. Open prototype player, fairways and greens, and find a hot putter for a few days. Harris English, Tommy Fleetwood, Sepp Straka, Russell Henley, Denny McCarthy.
Wow.
And I'm not going to bet Scotty pre-tournament, but if he's sitting there on Saturday night in the lead, then I'm going to jump on him. I'm not betting Scotty at 3-1 pre-tournament, but in game at even money or minus 200, yeah, definitely.
So that's the approach with Scheffler, right? Stay away. And
that's my
one
new
thing you
move
could say
with
too.
Scheffler.
Yeah, why get plus 300 on Thursday if you can get minus 125 on Saturday night, right?
Yeah,
and be more
because on
comfortable about
Thursday,
it.
anything could happen. We all know the guy could go out and get arrested, So, I mean, who knows what could happen?
You sort of know when he's going to win, when he's in like 5th or 6th place on Saturday. You're like the last one. It was like, he's going to win.
Yep.
Like, I know. I'm like, Scheffler's going to win this for sure. He was like
I'm
shots
playing
back, and I
him
knew
with
he was going to
18
win.
holes to
Every
go, not
time
with
he's got the
72.
lead, these guys fade like a cheap suit, man. They just let this
We've seen
guy
this
like
movie
they
before.
put him on the
Yeah.
leaderboard.
I brought it up, Brady, yesterday. The Phil Mickelson quote. He said it was a hot take. Bryson won't win again. He won't win again before the rest of it. He's won 3 times in a row. He was 17.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Let's roll this. It's SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. 5.5 left. We'll give a shout out to everybody in the chat when I get a chance to log in. We got our eye on this game. We just kicked it with Brady Cannon. Always good. So we're down to 5 minutes left in this hockey game. It was minus 125, as we talked about, at the 9-minute mark to go to overtime. Man, Edmonton are out shooting them 11-2, which is almost scary. They're out shooting them 11-2 in the third period, man. Teams that, you see this all the time. Shoot the team 11-2, and the other team scores on their third shot. And it's like, oh, right? And the Panthers are legends at this. And now the Panthers are buzzing around the net a little bit right now.
A quick point, Gabe. The one prop that they haven't adjusted again is Sergei Bobrovsky saves. 23.5 on one site, 24.5 plus money on the other. And look how many shots the Oilers had. Carolina hit that prop every night because all they do is pepper them. So, guys, if you're looking at props, and Gabe plays more than I do, Bobrovsky saves because Edmonton will shoot the kitchen sink at this guy because that's what you have to do to beat him. Already out shooting Florida 33-26 in this game. It's been a money bet. It's won like six times in a row.
I did play Seth Jones over 1.5 block shots and Darnell Nurse over 1.5 block shots, and I haven't looked at the prop yet because I'm just whatever. I want to win the damn game. I'm more worried about the props after. I want to win this hockey game, the Edmonton Oilers. Somebody said to me earlier tonight, to a Panther fan, that he's always talking smack to me all the time, and I did a Stanley Cup video where I was wearing a Canuck shirt, and he said, "How could you be cheering for the Oilers, a Canuck fan?" I said, "We got to be a fan of a team to bet on a team in a championship series."
Exactly. My money. I'll do whatever the hell I want, buddy.
Because I have money on them.
I hate when people say that. I'm wearing a Carolina Panthers jersey.
Tattoo anywhere? I don't see any tattoos.
I can wear what I want to wear. What school?
It's like Super Bowl Sunday. You become a fan of that team on Super Bowl Sunday. Paul Bowlby knows what I'm talking about.
Damn right, Gabe.
You said, "Oh, you're a Canuck fan. What a joke! You're cheering for the Oilers."
I can't cheer for another team. Leafs.
I guess I shouldn't cheer for my money, right? No, I shouldn't cheer for my plus 400 future.
But I'm cheering for my damn mortgage payment. So, buddy, you can shut your K-call. Enjoy the hockey game.
Yeah. What's up, Paul?
Paul,
how you doing, guys? How you
Paul,
doing,
you look
guys?
Very fresh tonight.
How you doing today?
Thank you very much, Cam. Thank you very much.
You're looking sharp there, Paul.
You do look good, Paul.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You look like a man who's auditioning, going to a job interview for the new coach of the New York Knicks.
Yeah, he does.
I'm really sad, man. I mean, that guy put his heart and soul into it. And I know everybody unleashed criticism at him, but I think he did a pretty good job. As I pointed out last week, 2020, he takes over the Knicks. It was pretty much a straight line up to the Eastern Conference Championship, and he could have really had a better fate. Obviously, you guys talked about Game 1. And I think that's what ultimately undermined the Knicks' chances to win the championship here. It was a very unfortunate loss, and we lose Tom Thibodeau. And it remains to be seen who we put in his place. But like I said, I'm sad to see Tom Thibodeau go.
I think, Paul, the fact that they lost so many home games upset Dolan. Dolan's sitting there courtside with all his celebrity buddies. He feels embarrassed. He gets angry. He thinks they should be better than they are. There was a quote, and I'm sure you remember it, from 2017. And I remember I was there at the time, and people like the Knicks even took a billboard out across from MSG and stuff trying to woo Durant. And Durant Coley said, the Knicks think that they're cool and their fans think people want to play for them. But he goes, but we don't. We all grew up watching them suck, and they're not a cool team to play for. That started to change now, Paul. And we've seen the wheels have started to change. And I don't think Thibodeau is perfect, but I would have ran it back again. You just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're credible. Free agents are suddenly not like saying, no way in hell I don't want to play for the Knicks. Now it's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I want to go be part of that big party down there in Manhattan now, right? The perception was starting to change. So they better get this hire right. You know what I'm saying, Paul? Like, I believe that they must think that they're going to get Malone, bro, from Denver. That's got to be my assumption.
I think you're right, but you're still really rolling the dice. I mean, this decision could go one way. I don't think there's going to be so much upside that you're going to embrace it and say, oh, the Knicks were wrong for keeping Tom Thibodeau. But it could go the other direction. And then there's going to be a firestorm of criticism. So this is a roll of the dice, and I agree with you. I think Dolan's fingerprints were all over this. I don't think it was Leon Rose, and it remains to be seen how this plays out. But it's going to be strange not seeing Tom Thibodeau on the sidelines and seeing a new face over there.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the Knicks, too. And it was funny. I was actually thinking about, because I saw a rumor about Kevin Durant. Now, suddenly, maybe he'd play for the Knicks. And I was thinking, yeah, I really wouldn't be in a hurry if I was the Knicks to bring in Kevin Durant. But I was thinking, I was like, what should the Knicks do? What do they do to take the next level, Paul? And I think, they need another three-point shooter. Like, to me, they're closer than further away, Paul. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a good team chemistry. They have a cohesion. The players obviously do like each other. They've gone further every year. Like, they've climbed a ladder. So it's almost like I say about the Leafs, Cam, when people, Marner this and that. It's like, you know what? Don't blow it up. Figure a way of adding to this, right? Figure out, bring in a Marchand, bring in a Setcho. Like, figure out the right guys to help these guys get over the top. That's sort of my deal with the Knicks. I wouldn't really blow this thing up. I'd be like, listen, we're hot right now. Let's get another free agent or another big time player that wants a part of this.
Exactly.
But when you do this, like you said, Paul, now you're sort of resetting over. And some players in the NBA will go, look at that, same old Knicks. Look at Rick Pitino today. He was asked, would you want to coach the Knicks again? He goes, not in a million years. Like when coaches see, you get fired after going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Why would you want to deal with that stress, Bovey?
Exactly. Rick Pitino, he's not coming back. 1988, I believe he was one and done. Great coach, not his thing.
Hey, he's coaching in the Garden anyways.
Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last two NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Well, son of a, I said, man, this thing will go to overtime. I think it tied at 3, not 4-4. Now it just did. I didn't bet it, though, at -125. I already got the Oilers, and, we got the series price. I bet them tonight. we got an odds boost on the Oilers tonight at plus 120. Yeah. And normally there's an $80 limit for me, but they didn't tap me out until $400 on it.
Wow.
And,
Stanley
I was
Cup
somewhat surprised.
raising the stakes. That's crazy. 400. Wow.
Yeah, well, other people were telling me they got maxed out at 20 and some other people 80. Normally I get maxed out at 80 on these odds boost. But today it was 400. I don't know what the deal was, but I think they just feel sorry for me because I lost so much on the CONCACAF Champions Cup the other night with the Vancouver Whitecaps. They're like, throw them a nice little bonus here tonight. That account number.
The bonus, man.
Keep him coming. Yeah.
I got to be honest. One thing with Bet365, I bet quite a bit, but like I usually get a free $200 bet every Sunday morning.
That's
and
nice.
I didn't get it this week. Right. I was like, because I haven't deposited much in the last couple of weeks because I'm beating them all the time. So their bonuses have been a little bit light with me. But yeah, tonight, so we got the odds boost, but we'll see if we're able to hit this. I'm just upset I didn't take this under 7.5 because I thought it was going to happen. But just, Paul, like if Malone, I want to say about the Knicks, if Malone doesn't take the job, let's say Malone, says, I don't want to work for Dolan, right? You know what I mean? I don't want and Malone's going to have the option of a lot of cities, or, So let's say he doesn't want to do it. Suddenly the Knicks got themselves a problem. Like they better have already known. Like, and I don't believe it's Leon Rose either. Leon Rose was Thibodeau's freaking agent. I doubt he's fired him after making the Eastern Conference Finals. He doesn't want drama. So that means that Dolan's basically in charge, which I imagine suddenly becomes, well, throw all this money at Malone now so I don't look bad. And or they try to woo Jay Wright into this job, who's never coached in the NBA before. And or Hurley, and get Hurley to leave UConn like the Lakers tried to get him to do, all of which I'm not sure are better options than Thibodeau was already.
I agree with you. I really think this is a roll of the dice, and this could backfire in a big way. They may have had a deal already, and it's just maybe they're just giving it a little bit of a cooling off period. Just to give it kind of the look that they're actually seeking out candidates.
It wasn't set up already in Malone. Yeah, because it looked bad if they do it today. That Malone was talking behind Thibodeau's back and stuff.
Yeah. I think there's a deal that has been hatched, and it's eventually going to be announced over the next few days. But I do think it's Malone, and if it's not Malone, there's trouble in paradise because there's going to be a lot of unhappy people because as much as criticism as he received, he did a great job, man. And I have to actually say that I think he could have done better in these Eastern Conference Finals. Look, when Shamat came in late in the series, this guy put up decent numbers. His plus minus was solid. He actually hit 3 3-pointers at the end of Game 6. Not that it meant anything, but the guy can shoot. And I really think he kept these guys chained to the bench too much during the Eastern Conference Finals, and he should have gotten more players involved, which he didn't do until later in the series, and that may have hurt him. So maybe that's part of it, but understand that no coach is going to be perfect, and we could always grade the result instead of the execution. So anyway, my thoughts.
There it is. All right, so we're going to be going to overtime. Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals. To put in context how critical this is, actually, guys, teams that win Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals go on to win the series 76% of the time. Teams that win Game 1 at home win the series 84% of the time. If you're the Edmonton Oilers, and last year, Paul, the Edmonton Oilers played the Florida Panthers in the finals, and they were trailing 3-0, and they stormed back. They won the next 3 games. You know what I mean? Like, it's critical that they don't spot. Like, the Oilers, talked about it openly. We need to win, early in the series and not spot them a lead again. And here we are going to overtime right now. Your Florida Panthers, Paul.
Yeah, I did take, I'm sitting having dinner, and I see Edmonton go up 1-0, and then ultimately Florida within the next few minutes 2-1, and I grabbed a plus $1.44 with the Edmonton Oilers. So I'm on your side, Gabe. I'm hoping
nice number.
Yeah, it's a great number. It's hey, let's hope for the best here.
We'll hit the other finals on the other side, the NBA Finals.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Oh, you like drama? We got more drama than a high school cafeteria right now. Overtime, baby. This is SportsRage Level 2. I am Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. Paul Bovey in the house with us, looking at the NBA Finals. We talked about the Knicks situation, but the finals are set to begin. We got the Stanley Cup Finals, NBA Finals. Countdown to tip-off is on. It's kind of been flying under the radar. Feels like it's been a long wait for game one. Current point spread 9.5 right now. 230.5 is the total. Paul, everybody's expecting a track meet type of series. You know, it's going to be running and gunning. Is the total too high for you, though? What do you think about the total? Let's start off there at 230.5.
I think it's fairly priced. And again, we did mention, we know how Indiana is very streaky, which gives them a puncher's chance here. Games they lost to the Knicks, they went 3 of 30 this year, 5 of 25. And then in game 6, as I noted before, 17 to 33 from beyond the arc. Knicks go 9 of 32. You go 17 to 33 from 3, and you're going to win the basketball game, which gives them a puncher's chance in this series. I do think that the series price is too high. I do think 230 is pretty much fair value. And depending upon the accuracy, particularly of the Pacers, that's going to really depend on whether the game goes high or low. But the number seems high at 9.5, 10. I just think they're giving OKC a little too much love here. The team has not been great in the playoffs. They were outscored by 50 points on the road, 50 points during the playoffs. So Indiana, I give them a chance. I'll probably grab plus 2.5 games. Seems like it makes a lot of sense. Indiana should get at least one at home, possibly 2, and could steal one on the road.
Yeah, that's been our thought process as well, that they could win at least 2 games. So you're getting it's minus 110. It's basically a minus 110 bet at plus 2.5 games. Can they win one in Oklahoma City is the question, right? Can they win one of those? I think they can win at home, right? We've seen Oklahoma City, like you said, they generally will get murdered in one of the games on the road, and then they'll play a close one and pull it out, right? And it was kind of rinse and repeat for them. And then they're just dominant. They only lost the one game at home to Denver, right? So, I do believe though that Indy are not getting enough respect here, guys. Just forget about the odds, but just from a basketball perspective, they match up well with Oklahoma City, right? There's going to be some battles here. Lou Dort is a big, big factor here. This guy terrorizes you. He's a great defender. Is he gonna bother Siakam? Siakam's got NBA Finals experience. Let's be real, Paul. The Denver Nuggets were not a very deep team, right? Murray wasn't even 100%. Murray was sick, injured all the time, and he had Jokic. Gordon got hurt. Porter wasn't playing well, and Porter out of the separated shoulder. The Minnesota Timberwolves are an offensively challenged team. The Memphis Grizzlies are like a street ball team, that were a freaking mess in the first round of the playoffs. This is Oklahoma City's toughest test. People don't want to admit it, but hey, the Pacers have had, they're one of the best teams in the NBA, guys, since January 1st. This is no fluke with the Pacers. They're a good team.
Yeah, and if you look at Minnesota, look, 128, 126. They pull that one out, and if not, this is going to Game 5 in OKC, tied 2-2. So, as you mentioned, they have not been good on the road. Sketchy at best. At home, certainly they generally get the best of it. But Indy, because they can fire from beyond the arc and get hot, they have a shot. And I think they can keep this series reasonably close. I think it's not a question of Indy not getting enough credit. It's more OKC getting just a little bit too much love. If you look at them from the beginning of the playoffs and the expectation level, I would say that they've slightly under-delivered. I think people expected them to be a little bit more dominant than they've been, notably in these last 2 series.
Paul Bovey kicking it with us. They've absolutely smashed teams. It's been an epic run for them. Yet, you look at this Pacer team and nobody's believed in them in pretty much in every series, right? I mean, people thought, the Knicks are going to beat them. The Cavaliers will beat them, right? There's just been this constant, us against the world mentality. 2 real interesting basketball markets too, guys, right? Indiana is like basketball USA. And then you get Oklahoma City and that wild atmosphere in that arena. One thing I'll say too, guys, about the total here tomorrow, and at least the 2 games in Oklahoma City, I think they get there. I think we can get to the over. What's the worst case scenario for tomorrow's game? Let's just say we take the Pacers plus 9.5 in the over, Paul. That Oklahoma City murder them, which I'm not sure they do. But if they do, they probably beat them 130 to 110 or something like that. We saw it even in a Minnesota series. The total was 224.5 or something, and Oklahoma City hung 140 on them.
Yeah, so if you do go with that route, you'd probably need 111 points from Indiana to deliver at least a split. And remember, the game they played, by the way, in Indiana, the Pacers took a lead into the 4th, ultimately lose the game 137-130, but OKC had to recover that game. By the way, Chet Holmgren did not play in either of the first 2 regular season games. I just want to throw out a prop. I like Isaiah Hartenstein under in the first game. He has struggled. His minutes have diminished. In fact, during the regular season, he was a -3 in the 2 games against the Pacers, and yet they won. They prevailed by a total of 27 points. And then against Minnesota, he was a -16 collectively during his time on the court. while the team was plus 34 point-wise against the T-Wolves, outscored them by 34 points. His minutes have been shrinking. Holmgren is going to get more minutes. His minutes are going to continue to plummet. So I like him under the 16.5 points, rebounds, assists in game one. And I also lean under 7.5 rebounds. You have to pay a premium for that right now at minus $1.45, but you can go under 6.5 and get plus money.
Paul Bovey. All right, Paul, we got about a minute left. Paul travels more than a pilot. I'd like to see your frequent flyer miles, Paul. But now you're at Saratoga this week, and I was thinking a little early for Saratoga season, but it's the Belmont Stakes this weekend, so that's going to be the home base for the big race this weekend, Paul.
Yeah, it's this is an unusual occurrence. While they work on Belmont as they retool the venues in the New York metropolitan area, Aqueduct will close, Belmont will open, and it will be an all-weather, all-season track. But for these 5 days, they come up to Saratoga. It's a great time up here. They'll go back to Aqueduct and ultimately come back here in the next few weeks for the summer meet.
Paul Bovey. All right, Paul doesn't have his picks ready yet. He's a last-minute guy. He's a mover and shaker. Check him.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming. The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Well, Verhaeghe nearly just ended this game. He came really close. It was one of those, like, the puck was just sort of like lingering next to the net, man, and Skinner was not fully aware of it. Like, there was like this much net open, and the puck was just like sort of bouncing there for a second. Verhaeghe came in and tried to just tried to push it in, but he missed the net. It was like, whoa. Florida have come close twice, like right off the top. They're like in the first seconds of overtime, they had like a big chance. Edmonton has had one sort of decent chance here in OT, and we know how these overtimes usually work out. You either get you get a goal like really early, like right away, or we're going to be here a while, right? And I'm not saying we're going to be here a while point yet, because the ice is still a little fast. They've only played like 4 minutes here, so the ice is still relatively fast. But once it gets, Cam, to like 10 minutes again, like that was the mark that I missed out on last time when I said, it was minus 125. That 10-minute mark, then they're both going to start to tighten up again. They're going to be like, let's not make a mistake. Let's not make a mistake. So the next 5 minutes here, if there's not a goal now in the next 5 minutes, I think we're going to double overtime.
I agree with you, Gabe. Another point that I want to bring up for Florida, when you look at their stars and the prices that you pay in their props, like people talk about Bennett, who's had a huge game tonight, Kachuk, but Gabe, do you know Carter Verhaeghe was minus 120 to record a point? He leads their franchise in overtime goals. He gets most shots on the net. Like, it's one player that kind of falls under the radar and doesn't get the headlines he deserves. I think that's an incredible price for a guy that's always at the top of their scoring. He's always around the net.
Yeah, I saw he was part of a few odds boosts tonight, actually, and it crossed my mind. I was like, yeah, Verhaeghe probably does actually score. I didn't think he was going to score their first goal tonight. He nearly just scored again. Right now we got some rough stuff, good stuff. Well, this is living up to the hype. This is the way the Stanley Cup Finals are supposed to be. Last year they went to 7 overtime. Right now, they're pushing and shoving right now. This is great stuff. Hopefully the referees just stay the F out of the way and let them beat each other up here. This is where now in overtime, it's vigilante justice. Like, don't if you're the ref, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to call it if someone gets tripped on a breakaway or something. But I mean, with the rough stuff, let them slash each other after the play. Let them do stuff and get away with it. There's a lot on the line here. And this, like I said, 76% of the time, the team that wins game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals wins the Stanley Cup.
That's fascinating.
That goes up to 84% if the home team wins game 1.
That's crazy.
They played a lot of Stanley Cups, Cam, so that's only 16% chance that if you lose game 1 on the road. Like, if I'm Edmonton, I like those numbers. Win this damn game.
No, that's crazy, Gabe. Like, you think about the history of hockey and all the time, you think the number would be high 60s, low 70s. Like, the fact that it's 84, that is incredible. That is
you notice with hockey though, Cam, all these teams, we think of hockey, unlike basketball, if a team is down 3-0 or 2 or 3-1, we think, they're done. They're going to quit.
Yeah.
Right. We don't think that about hockey. It's like, the series is never over till it's over, but it kind of is. Right, in hockey. There's not a lot of comebacks. No one, dude, case in point. The last team to come back from down 3-0 and win a Stanley Cup was the 1942 Stanley Cup, was the Maple Leafs. My grandfather played in those playoffs. That's why I know it so well. So I can bang it off. My grandfather scored the winning goal, actually. Winning goal in the semifinals against the Detroit Red Wings. But in those days, guys, this is pretty cold world. The semifinals of the Stanley Cup was a best of 2 or 3.
Interesting. Better not lose the first one.
Look,
who, your grandfather Haggerty? He scored a game-winning goal?
There wasn't this big, he scored the winning goal in the playoffs against the Red Wings in 1942.
That's amazing.
Yeah. In the one game they won. They lost the series 2-1. In the one game that they won. It's too bad if they didn't. He would have played in the Stanley Cup. He played in the gold medal game in the Olympics, but he would have played the Stanley Cup in 1942, ironically enough, against the Leafs. Right? But instead, the Red Wings played them, and they did play the best of 7 in those days. So they went best of 3 and then best of 7. So they did play the best of 7. And like I said, the Red Wings won the first 3 games, and then the Maple Leafs came back and won the 4 straight games. Only team to come back in NHL history. And who's the baseball? Well, I guess the Red Sox and Yankees is the only one. Like, these comebacks don't happen. That's what I'm saying. Like,
And
Edmonton did it last year.
Exactly. That's
yeah,
crazy.
but they didn't. They fell short.
They did. They did fall short. That's
they
so
fell short.
frustrating too. Imagine you're down 3-0, you tie it up 3-3. Like, and then you just lose the final game. That is
I'd rather lose 4-0.
Yeah, almost. You're almost like it's almost like that.
Well,
yeah.
it adds another 2 weeks to your life and just pain and heartache and just like it's just worse. Like to
you know
lose.
What it is, Gabe? When you lose like that, and you played hockey too, you'll think about it for a very long time. Oh, that little mistake and this and that. When you get blown out, it's like, you know what? They were the better.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah. I remember when we lost
in the Final Four in the City Championship in Montreal, and we were really, really good. And we lost the game 1-0. It still bothers me to this day because it was only one goal. I'm always thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder what would have happened if I would have saved that. Like, I really had no chance. It was in the slot, boom, bang, bang. It was one of those bang, bang plays. Thing that pissed me off to this day, though, is I knew the play was going to happen. So it didn't surprise me. That's what angers me. Like, I was like, he's going to come out here and he's going to throw it here. It was just a nice shot. It beat me. And it was like, bang, bang. We lost 1-0. And like you said, we lost other games like whatever, 5-2 and stuff. I don't even remember those games because it was 5-2. It wasn't painful. It was like, I don't know, we lost 5-2, whatever. This game always bothered me because it was 1-0. So we're down to the 13-minute mark now of overtime. Great stuff. The Oilers are flying around right now, sort of going in waves, but the Oilers kind of look faster than the Panthers do right now. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on that. But as we know, the Panthers just strike out of nowhere all the time. This is what they're great at. We're going to get Ian Cameron's thoughts. I thought it would be Babano's post-game thoughts on the Stanley Cup, but the way things are going, this, oh my God. Does it look like just
Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Cam was just looking at my grandfather's hockey page, actually.
Great
and
number.
I didn't even realize some of the towns he played in. He's like, holy Malton, huh? Like all these
Hey, like
places.
down the street from me, Montreal, Valleyfield, Royal Canadian Air Force. Like, man, this guy,
England.
yeah, he played in England for the Wembley Monarchs.
He liked being a Wembley Monarch. Like, he was proud of
Yeah.
that. Like, in his basement, like, he had pictures. Like, he was big on the – that's where he won, Cam, and he set a record in time for the long barrel jump.
Oh.
On
The guy
ice.
This guy's amazing.
Like,
42
yeah, but
points
imagine,
in 40 games.
he told me.
That's wicked.
He goes, I said, how many people? He goes, there was about 95,000 people at Wembley Stadium. He goes, I jumped over like 14 barrels. They put like oil barrels out on the ice, and you'd skate and you'd jump over them. And like, it was all these dudes like
He's like
competing.
Evel Knievel of ice.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, I won the long barrel competition. He showed me the picture and the medal and all this type stuff.
Dude,
It was crazy, dude.
Dead.
It's like 95,000. He goes, there was 95,000 people. He goes, it was very popular in the 40s in those days. Like, he goes, yeah, it was 95,000 people.
If you don't get over those barrels, you could break your neck, your hip, your back.
Imagine your spine landing on like the back of it.
Falling on a
I
barrel?
could jump over like 2 barrels, Cam. Like, he did like 12 or 14 type thing.
I'm doing like 3 barrels tops. Like, this guy's doing 14.
I don't know. I'd like to see you do 3. 3's pretty big.
Three barrels? If I with running
big
speed, I
oil
think I can do
barrels.
3. I can't do 4.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, barrels are big.
He had great stories. Like, he was a linesman in the NHL after too.
Had 5 points in 2 Olympic games. Like, this guy's just like, dude, he's a legend. Haggerty.
He was good. He was good. I want to find the program. There's an old program. He used to have it. I said my uncle got it when he passed away. But he's on the front page of the Montreal Forum game night, like for the Canadians.
Cool.
And it says like Gentleman Jim Haggerty excites the fans in Montreal. And, like, there's a picture of him. He looked like Superman. He really did. He has nothing like me. He had like the perfect hair, and he's like smiling, looked like a superhero. Used to bother my grandmother because she told me, all the ladies really liked him and stuff. Like, and he used to sort of
Gentleman Jim had the skills.
At him, like he's all ripped and like looked like Superman in those days. And she was like, my grandfather told me, he goes, oh yeah, she was really mad when I was on the cover of the Four magazine because of all the girls suddenly, right?
Montreal girls like hockey players. Big time.
Yeah, they do, even in those days. I told a story, though. The Hall of Famer, Doug Harvey, introduced my grandmother to my grandfather.
That's
like
wild.
Doug Harvey went to school with my grandmother, and they met. My grandfather was hanging out with Doug Harvey, and he was like, who's this? And that became my grandfather. So I wouldn't be here if not for Doug Harvey.
My mother's claim to fame, Gabe, she dated the Big M, Frank Mahovlich, another legend of hockey. Yeah.
Stay away from those hockey players.
Yeah, those hockey players like to, they like to get around, eh?
Remember I said, in the old days, they were more gentlemanly. Nowadays, stay away. Let's bring in Jesse Shule here right now. All right. What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
Jesse, how you doing?
Sorry I'm late, guys. I figured you guys would be catching the overtime and wouldn't be starting on time.
Yeah. No, we're rolling along here. There's 9 minutes left. And I said a couple of minutes ago, I said when it was about 15 minutes left in overtime here, Jesse, that if they don't score early in overtime on the fast ice, it generally starts to slow down. The players start to get tired. Someone capitalizes on a mistake, and that's how someone's going to win. But these teams are so damn good. They're kind of rested. They haven't played in a while. So where I'm going with this is I said if we get to the 10-minute mark, I wouldn't be surprised if it just sort of starts to slow down and we end up in freaking double overtime here. But my prediction doesn't really matter because the book doesn't have anything. Kind of disappointing. They should have, will this game go to double overtime? The only option they have is who's going to win the game. But who are you on in this game, Jesse?
I didn't play the game itself. I do have the Oilers for the series, and the thought process was this time, revenge matchup, and this time around, Oilers get home ice. But home ice goes out the window if they don't win game one, right? So I'm hoping it's a repeat of the World Cup or the Four Nations with McJesus in OT walking it off. I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's hopefully it ends in the same way. McJesus beating Kachuk.
How's my audio? You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, it's not great actually, but we're coming up against the break here. Maybe we'll try to fix this at the break, and then we'll get Babano in as well. Interesting story too. I tweeted this out earlier today, guys. the Oilers, this is really cool what they did. They got ice from some of the players where they played as kids where they could.
Amazing. Yeah.
So like Nugent Hopkins, I didn't realize this, Cam. He played down the street for me at the Burnaby Winter Club for the Burnaby Winter Club.
David's a Newmarket, right by me.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to be this. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, let's do this thing. We're going to have Ian Cameron, A.K. Babano, join us in a couple of minutes. We got Jesse Schul with us right now, Mr. Wonderful in the house. So 7.5 minutes left in overtime right now. They're up shooting them 43-29 right now. All right, Jesse. So NBA Finals. So Stanley Cup Finals. We talked about the Oilers here. You talked about being on the series. What about the NBA Finals? What are you doing with the Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder series with that big number?
Yeah, well, I think the most likely outcome is probably Thunder in 5, but it's priced that way. They're a huge favorite, and all the analytics guys, they all say Thunder are going to dominate this series. But those same analytics that they're using probably didn't have the Pacers being here in the first place. Probably didn't have the Thunder going 7 games against Denver. And you guys are probably in my wheelhouse. You're probably old enough to remember the 2004 Detroit Pistons that were priced at exactly the same price heading into that series versus the Lakers. And there is a connection to this team. Do you guys know what that connection is?
I'm just thinking the first thing you said, and I'll think about the connection in a second, but when you said that, I was just remembering that was the first time they did the 2-3-2 stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a funny story of Kobe Bryant and being the ultimate competitor, and Kobe didn't even know. Like they were in Detroit, and they were like, "What do you mean like this? It could be like we're not going back to LA." They're like, "No, man, there's 3 games in Detroit." And they were like, "What?" And they ended up losing to like the 3 games in Detroit too. I think they lost in 5 off the top of my head, the Pistons and the Lakers. But all right, so what's the connection between the Pistons and who? What's the connection? What's the question?
The Pacers. The Pacers. So it's not a very strong connection. Carlisle was their coach the previous year. They fired him. Larry Brown took over. So I mean, Carlisle sort of had his fingerprints on that championship team. And then if the way I'm looking at it is, there's three major upsets in my lifetime in the NBA Finals, starting with that 2004 Pistons. Then you got 2011 Dallas Mavericks, also coached by Rick Carlisle. And then you have the Toronto Raptors upsetting the Golden State Warriors. And of course, Pascal Siakam was on that team. And I look at this Pacers team, and do they have that same kind of DNA that the Raptors had, or that particularly that Pistons team that didn't really have a superstar? They had that starting five that was all, it could be any guy on any given night. Could be Rasheed Wallace, could be Rip Hamilton, Mr. Big Shot, Chauncey Billups. I think this Pacers team has a punch.
Oh, have we lost Jesse? Jesse froze.
Remember Big Ben Wallace, Gabe, like 27 rebounds and stuff? That Pistons team, you know what they did to the Lakers? They basically just beat them up. Corliss Williamson, Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Like, they had some badasses on that team. Like, I remember they went up to the Lakers, said, bring it on, Hollywood. And then the Lakers were like, whoa. Like
Rip Hamilton was their scorer, right? They had a bunch of tough guys, and Hamilton was sort of like Halliburton type thing, sort of same type of, give you 17, 20 a game, not really a superstar guy. Paul Pierce brought it up, and I'll give him credit. People say, Pierce, I like to party with Pierce, actually. He's always like getting drunk and hanging with strippers and stuff. So Paul Pierce got run out of the NBA media because of like, he did the videos and he was partying all the time, but he's got good takes. Like, a lot of these NBA guys have podcasts and they all like talk crazy. They say crazy things. They're looking for attention, and you can't really take it all seriously, but Pierce and Garnett don't give an F. So they're basically just sitting there like smoking weed and drinking and just talking about the NBA. And Pierce went over it about how everybody on the Pacers is a badass. And, listen, Pierce is a badass himself, but Pierce brought up the fact that he goes, and KG said the same thing. He goes, what his Pacer team reminds me of? And this was like 4 weeks ago. They were on the Pacer bandwagon, and they said this Pacer team is a lot like the Raptor team that won. And they brought it up about like how they got a bunch of dudes. It's not just one dude. People think about Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard was obviously a stud, but Pascal Siakam averaged like 24 points a game in the finals. Like, he went off. Van Fleet hit like 22 3-point shots in a row at one point. And the real reason the Raptors won, it wasn't just because of Kawhi. The real reason they won was two players, and no one really talks about them, but it was Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka. You had two big, mean dudes that were just playing great. And that was like literally 12 fouls a game that they were able to throw at Giannis. And it wore Giannis the F out. Because it was always like he either had Ibaka hitting him, either had Gasol hitting him. At times he had both of them hitting him. And the Raptors could, use the fouls. That was the big difference. Pacers are deep as well. These guys play a lot of teams. They're not as physical as the Raptor team was, though. All right, so we're down to 5.5 left in overtime right now. Panthers are buzzing around the Oilers zone. Let's bring in Ian Cameron right now. Babano in the house. Babano, I thought we'd be doing a post-game analysis conversation, not a in-game analysis. Here we are in overtime.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd have to leave my own betcast to be here. I thought the game would be over by now, but we're here and we're still going. So it is what it is. Overtime 3-3. Looking forward to seeing who wins this.
So you stepped aside? So your crew is going on right now? You said, all right, I got to step aside.
I got my spot. I've never abandoned you guys.
Babano.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We get through this 4 minutes, Babano. You're going to be joining them again in about 15 minutes for the double.
That's what I said. I said I'll see you at midnight Eastern. I'll be back. I think we're still going to be going, honestly. Yeah.
I said if this game gets to the 10-minute mark, Babano, of overtime, I said at the time, I said, you get the early goal with the fast ice. All right, then it didn't happen. Once you get to about the 10-minute mark again of overtime, it's when it starts to slow down and guys are looking at the clock and you're starting to think about double overtime. Don't make that mistake. Now we're at 5-minute mark. They're thinking about not making a mistake more than they're thinking about scoring right now. right? Like they're not thinking, oh, we got 5 minutes, we better end this. It's like, no, man, don't make an effing mistake in the next 4.5 minutes, guys. Whatever you do, and let's, we'll have some orange juice and some bananas, and we'll be ready to go in 20 minutes again. Let's get through this next 4 minutes. What do you think happens? Do you think we're going to make it a double overtime? Or we're going to get a late, crazy goal here?
No, I think it's going to go to double overtime because I think Edmonton had their chances. They didn't capitalize. Florida, by the way, is playing a forward down. Gadjevich left the game early, so they're down to 11 forwards. And they're also the team that made the long flight north to Edmonton. And you wonder if the legs they're feeling it a little bit because Edmonton's had the majority of the pressure here in overtime.
These guys, they don't feel anything. They just keep going. Like they're like the never stop quit guy in The Simpsons, like Skinner. Yeah. He's like some sort of Terminator, never give up guy. That's the Panthers. They just fly around constantly.
Machine light. Exactly.
Yeah, they're cyborgs. Yeah.
Well, they're a physical team, and it wears on you, but the Oilers are a physical team as well here. This game has gone in waves, though, Babano, as you stated. Like, the Oilers were dominant early. They were out shooting them 25-6. Then suddenly it was like, the Panthers outshot them 15-5 or whatever. Third period, the Oilers have been dominant. If the hockey gods are fair, the better team tonight has been the Edmonton Oilers. Let's call it out for what it is. But we know that the hockey gods aren't always fair, man, right? And this is going to be a lucky bounce or one mistake.
It is true. I mean, and look at the third period in overtime. Edmonton's probably, since they started strong in the first few minutes of the first, I think they've saved their best for the third in overtime. They have clearly carried the play. The shots are now 43-32. Bobrovsky's had to make far more high-danger saves on scoring chances than Skinner. You're doing a lot of good things for Edmonton, except for one exception. The puck hasn't gone in for you yet, and that's what you worry about.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm concerned about from an Edmonton perspective, just as a better for the series, I was hoping that they would rattle Bobrovsky early in the series because when Bobrovsky's locked in, he gets locked in for like a week or two. He seems freaking locked in right now because he's playing great.
Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Well, we got some drama now, as if we didn't already have enough. One thing I'll say, the Edmonton Oilers power play has been a disappointment tonight. 0 for 3, including a 4-on-3, only 6 shots on goal. Although, that's why I talk about in the NHL All-Star game in the past. 3-on-3 doesn't work. They don't know what to do. And they don't like it. It's easier to defend, actually, ironically enough. And you saw when the Oilers were 4-on-3, they could get nothing. Like, they literally, didn't know where to pass the puck. They didn't know where to stand. It was kind of very awkward. I was surprised how bad it was, actually. Like, they never practice it. But the Panthers just shot the puck over the glass with about a minute and a half left in the game. So we got a $1.24 left. They're on the power play right now. Dear God, I thought that was going in. Oh, my God. Somebody just shot it
Those
from the blue
are the
line.
kind of penalties that burn teams, delay game penalties.
I know. If the Oilers, guys, I don't want to say this, but if you don't score now, Babano, the Panthers are going to win.
This is
they just gave you this power play in the last minute and a half. Finish it off, man. Yeah. And they're tired.
So
and you get the last line change. You got to score here.
See? I'm with you. You know what? And I've been noticing with these power plays, these little plays they do to the defensemen and stuff, and they tee it up and miss the net by 6 feet.
The Oilers can. Bouchard, boom, McDavid, back, Bouchard, back. Yeah, it's telegraphed, like you said. The thing is, but remember I talked about it last year with the Canucks in the playoffs. Ridiculous. It's guys, if I see Pettersson tee one up from the side of the net one more time.
Never worked.
The goalie's already there before he's lining up. It's you've done this all year, okay? Maybe we come up with a different play, Cam. You know what I'm saying?
Ricochets down the ice and you waste 25 damn seconds. Honest to God, we played this game. Simplify it. You do a wrister.
You know what I hate on the power play? The drop pass in the neutral zone. I hate that shit.
I know. That's another one, too. Stop being so damn pretty and just shoot in front. Get a guy in front of the
when they go back and they buy time.
It's so stupid, man. It's not that hard.
Big on that.
You get a guy in there.
Backwards ever. Nothing good happens. You know what I mean? All right. And they can't get anything going. You know what, though? Let's give credit to the Panthers PK guys because they're doing a damn good job. The Oilers power play sucks tonight. If you would have told me that we got 4 power plays, 0 for 4, including a 4-on-3, I'd say, oh, man, the Oilers are going to score 2-3 power play goals. They got nothing. They can't even get a shot on goal.
No, the Panthers are controlling.
Shoot the damn puck, man, somebody. All right, here they're cycling around, getting all cute. You only got 35 seconds left. Oh, there it is. It's real. The Edmonton Oilers win in overtime.
Wow, there it is. Yep.
Seconds left.
Draisaitl.
He's got 2. See, that's a play.
Crazy in Edmonton, and they're going crazy outside the arena.
Wow.
You saw it, Morency. You pass it across. There's no Panther there. It's just net.
They're going crazy in the ice district, as they call it. Yeah.
Dude, people in Edmonton are going to get so loaded tonight. Good luck showing up for work tomorrow, Edmonton bosses. These guys are going to be out.
That little square outside the arena looks like the biggest underage drinking festival I've ever seen.
I know.
They're all 15.
I saw an 11-year-old kid shotgunning beers.
Here, look at these kids. There's kids smoking weed and drinking beer. I'm like, you guys look like you're 15. They're all got their beer in the camera. Hey.
It's amazing. I saw this kid do a shotgun. He had to be 12. You're right, Morency. It's party time. These guys love it.
Everything goes in Edmonton.
You can tell the way they reacted. McDavid, look at the emotion, man. You never kind of see that from him. They knew how fast it was to get that.
You see, he didn't smile. He didn't smile. You know what he said? F yeah. He said effing right. Effing right.
Yeah.
He didn't smile, though. He's going to smile when they touch the cup. Oh, what a pass. Beautiful. There it was. Bobrovsky nearly stopped it. That would have been an epic save. Bobrovsky saw it coming and it was kind of like I talked about. Bobrovsky saw the play happening, but
just under his glove.
If
another
you recall,
phenomenal
I said X factor is Draisaitl. I said he's got to bring it. We know what McDavid's going to do, but Draisaitl's good enough to take this series over. And I brought it up about if there was one guy. They're not going to give it to him, but not a bad start. Plus 800 MVP, Babano, Conn Smythe. 2 goals and getting for Draisaitl. He's off and running right now.
Exactly. And another
and an overtime winner. 2 goals and an OT winner.
He shoots the damn puck. He didn't even fool around with it. On tape in. No curdling it. Just bang. Just go. That's the thing, man. This guy knows how to natural goal score. Beautiful win for the Oilers, man. That's huge. Huge.
The Oilers
I think
needed
it's
that
more, more catastrophic that Edmonton loses this game as opposed to Florida, in my opinion. That's why it was big for Edmonton.
Yes.
I think if Florida loses, I'm not concerned. I'm more concerned if Edmonton had lost this game.
Big time.
Especially
Big
with the way
time.
it went.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that take, Babano. If you're the Oilers after losing the first 3 last year, this would be devastating to lose game 1.
Very hard.
Even though I think they could have the resiliency to deal with it, but you're right away. It's like, really, we're playing uphill again. Like, this is what we're doing. We're going uphill again, right? You know what I mean? Like for them to get this big win, for Draisaitl to finish the F off like he did. Excellent stuff. Now the city will be buzzing, positive vibes for a couple of days. Let's get a 2-0 series lead on Friday night.
Oh, I almost hit a 7-game parlay, Morency. The only thing that didn't win, I'd Evander Kane for a point. Everything else won. Damn it. Paid huge, too.
Well, at least the Oilers won the game.
Yeah. Positives. Yep. That's more. That's
and I have
huge.
Edmonton in the series and game 1. I did the combo, game 1 and the series for Edmonton.
Yeah. Good move by you there. You get plus money at that. It's a good bet.
It was plus 160, but I saw it was plus 150 today. I like that too. I'm already on the Oilers at plus 400. I hit that nice odds boost to Bet365. They had the Oilers at plus 120 today instead of minus 130 earlier in the day. It closed at minus 120, but massive win for the Edmonton Oilers. All right, so on the other side, we'll talk about the Edmonton Elks. We're going to go from one Edmonton to the other. Quick CFL segment with Babano. And then, so the Ice guys. So what are you guys going to be done, I guess? You don't have to go back, right? They're going to be done at midnight themselves.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
exactly.
Recap?
I'm just gonna, just go back in and shut her down, and that's it. Just say last final thoughts, and we'll wrap it up as soon as
And then you can get in your Labatt Blues, Babano. A couple more Labatt Blues in your lair.
Oilers go to minus 240 right now to win the series. New updated series price. Oilers minus 240. Florida Panthers plus 190. Connor McDavid actually didn't really move. Connor McDavid was minus 150 from 600.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. The Pitts, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. I haven't really looked at Twitter tonight. Like I said, we're on a backup computer tonight. We apologize if anything was different or this or that. We'll deal with it in the morning. Trip to the Apple store, and not for fruits and vegetables. We're going to get shaken down by Apple. All right, so listen, let's get to the games. CFL football. Babano, what do you like tomorrow? Ottawa or the Rough Riders? Red Blacks or Rough Riders?
Riders. Riders and Alouettes is my Grey Cup final this year. Riders and Alouettes with Montreal winning the Grey Cup. We'll get that out of the way right now. I believe in Davis Alexander. I believe in that kid. I think he's going to be great. I think the defense is great for Montreal, so I like them over Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup. And I like Saskatchewan in week 1 against Ottawa. I think they're going to be good at home. Ottawa's 2-7 on the road last year. Ottawa stunk on the road last year, the Red Blacks. And Drew Brown, I still worry about some interception issues. I still worry about that defense a little bit. And I like Saskatchewan's defense a lot. I think this is a really good defense. Roland Milligan's a great corner for them. I think they're good players at all 3 levels of the defense. Corey Mace, a defensive-minded head coach. I think Saskatchewan gets it done there. I like Montreal team total over against the Argos. You guys, the Argos are concerning on the defensive side to me coming into the year. They lost 6 defensive linemen, 6
My
coming into
biggest
the
season
year.
bet, Babano, Argos under wins total. I think they might
like
get better
that,
at the
man.
end of
I'm
the
with you.
season, but it's my favorite bet.
6 defensive linemen gone from last year. Starting corners, multiple gone from the secondary. It's a rebuilt defense and a new DC for Toronto. And, of course, now Chad Kelly not starting Nick Arbuckle to begin. I think it's a good spot for Montreal. I don't want to make it about revenge, guys, but it is, Montreal did lose to Toronto in the East Final. So you got to think this is going to be a game that, extra special to them to try to get some payback. So I like Montreal there. I like favorites on Thursday and Friday.
Hamilton, Ty. One thing I'll say, and I've heard a lot of people talk about these teams in the CFL, talking about this team lost a lot of this and that. I'd say really, other than the Montreal Alouettes, pretty much every team in the league is new.
Yep.
Like the Calgary Stampeders are new, the Edmonton Elks are new, the BC Lions are super new. They're all new. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all new. Your Hamilton Tiger Cats, a little bit of continuity with the Cats from last year. Argos starting over, like, on defense once again. So, I don't know. Like I said, all these defenses, like, with the exception of the Alouettes, guys, like you said last week, Babano, oftentimes the CFL starts off slow, but I'm not in a hurry to bet unders this week. Like, even Ottawa and Saskatchewan, Ottawa's defense could have problems. Saskatchewan is a good all-around complete team. I agree with you. But the odds makers got the total of 52.5 for your Tiger Cats and the Stampeders. You're the Tiger Cat fan. What's your pick for that game?
Team total over for Hamilton. I got to see the defense be better before I believe it. I think they are better on paper. I like the DC higher.
No,
but there's a lot of
give it team totals. We're asking who's going to win the game. You're the Hamilton fan.
Hamilton. I mean, I don't trust Calgary. Calgary is in a tough spot. The defense is not good. Guys, 75% of Calgary's defense.
Yeah, team total. It's a cop-out.
75% of Calgary's defense is new personnel this year. 75%. Huge turnover on the defensive side. They weren't good on defense last year, so I think that Stampeders defense is an issue. I like over in Edmonton, BC as well. I think there'll be points. I like the Trey Ford's finally the quarterback. Nathan Rourke looked awesome in preseason. He went 8 for 8 against the starting defense of Edmonton in the second preseason game. Buck Pierce was a great hire. Every year his offenses in Winnipeg, when he coordinated there, were churning out great offenses. I think they'll be fine with Buck Pierce as head coach. So I like the over, and I like BC a little bit there too. I like the over more, though.
Dave Dickinson, this is pretty crazy. In the CFL, guys, for people tuning in, you got 12 guys on the field, not 11. The Calgary Stampeders have 12 new defensive starters. They literally replaced every starter.
Just about every position, Dave. Yep.
That's insanity, and it's hard, man, in the CFL.
But the thing is, McCann, they're not all new CFL guys. They're not all new CFL guys. But they just said they ran everybody off from defense, and they brought in all new guys. Like, you know what I mean? They still have some guys on defense, like you said, Babano, but like I saw Dickinson said, we could have 12 new starters on defense. And he said, we like how they look. He goes, we're hoping for the best on Saturday. And I'm thinking, oh, God, we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, against Bull Mitchell and want to prove a point against his old team. Yeah.
What's your pick, Cam? Saskatchewan and Ottawa tomorrow.
I lean Saskatchewan. I think if there's one game to go under, this one might be the one. I kind of agree with you guys with the overs. I think Saskatchewan will hold Ottawa in check. So give me the Riders.
Other than that, all right, I guess we're done. We'll see you for the NBA Finals. I'll put my picks on later.